Hi, my name is Krisha Sarah Bowen, also known as the Giant Slayer. I want to welcome you to Style Your Life with Krisha. Today we're going to talk all about purpose. This is a topic that I'm so passionate about. So as soon as you guys jump in, I want you to tell me hello. I want you to tell me where you are from. And if you know anyone on your timeline that could benefit from this information, I want you to go ahead and invite them as we talk today about styling your life with purpose. I have an amazing show for you guys. I want you to invite your friends, join in and share it out. So I am excited. My excitement is on 10 million. Hey Faith, how are you doing? And I am talking today about my favorite topic. You see that P in the back there? It's all about purpose today. I'm going to be sharing with you how I came into my purpose. I'm going to be sharing with you some keys that can help you to live in your purpose, the importance of purpose. What is this P word about anyway, right? So firstly, I want to talk about labels, pins and things, right? Somebody type in labels, pins and things. So when I talk about labels, pins and things, what I want to share with you today is how much this played such an important part in my life. Actually, it was part of my validation process, right? If I'm just completely honest, hey Jocelyn, these little labels, pins and things, I don't know if you guys can see them, right? But these are some of my pins that I received for my qualifications. I got a whole set of stuff here that I want to show you guys, right? These are stuff from graduation in terms of the categories, in terms of different associations I was in. And some of you may have seen me do this before, right? I'm just going to open my file here and show you some of the things that were important to me before we get to talking about purpose and the importance of purpose, right? So we're talking about labels, pins, and things. I don't know if any of you can relate, but these things sometimes give us this false sense of validation, this false sense of worth. I'm not knocking education, I'm not knocking qualifications, I'm not knocking accomplishments, but in my case, it was actually everything that I built my life on. So we're going to go through some of my labels, pins, and things, right? My certificates, everything that I built my life on for basically most of my life. These are the things that I was building on. And you see, like, we have quite a lot. So I believe that in life, success was about your accomplishments. Success was about your certificates. Success was about your degrees. Success was about your qualifications. And that is what success is. And I often talk about the build a box lifestyle, which is where we look at other people's life and we try to build our life based on what we see. So essentially what I did is that I looked at other people, I looked at their definition of success, and I started to build my life according to another human being. So whatever they said was success was that you go to school, you go to college, you go to university, you get your degrees, you get your qualifications, you get a good job, you work up the corporate ladder, and that is what success is. And I did all of those things. I went hard. I was very determined. I did not have it easy. I shared the story of leaving Trinidad at 17 years old to go to Florida Memorial University. And I come from a middle class family. So at that time, there was no one in my family that went to college. And my mom said, at the end of this, we will have great faith. I had no idea what faith was because I was really living in a comfortable situation. I had no need to trust God. Basically, I don't think that I needed him. I was kind of self-sufficient and I was going after everything in terms of qualifications, in terms of being recognized for my degree, my pins, my labels, and my things, etc., right? But then what happened to me is that after I built my life on this and I thought that this was what success was, guess what? It crumbled, right? Everything that can be shaken will be shaken when it comes to your purpose. And crumbling is a part of it, because sometimes we get so self-sufficient, we get so cocky in a sense that we feel like we are the makers of our own life, and we feel as if we are in control. And essentially there are times that God has to bring situation or even use situations in our life to knock us back and to let us know we are not in control, but He is, right? Hey Janelle, so I had a moment like that, because if I'm completely honest, I was completely full of pride because my certificates made my life, and I felt like when I walked into a room, hey, do you know who I am? I had my email with my signature with all my qualifications, BSc, MSc, SHRM, CP, all of my qualifications, because guess what? I needed that as a source of validation, and I needed people to know who I was, right? I don't know if anybody can relate to my story. If you can, just share in the comments, but I'm sharing completely from my heart, and I want you to know how I came into my purpose, right? Hey, Shelly. So I was confident based on these things that I showed you, right? My labels, my pins, and my things. These were the things that made up my life. These were the things that told people who I was, right? Hey, Auntie Vid. And I had this transition point in my life where everything that I built on, it was shaken. And the position that I made an idol, essentially, above God, it was stripped from me. Sometimes we make idols and we don't even know that we have made an idol. Sometimes we make idols and we're not aware because we get so caught up in our little zone, in our little space. Things are going well and we are self-reliant and we don't really need God. We feel as if we have it all together. And that was my story. I didn't have the story of, hey Gemma, I didn't have the story of abuse. I didn't have the story of sexual trauma. I didn't have that story. But I always say pain is pain. If we look on a scale and we put pain on a scale, there's no way for us to compare and say your pain is worse, my pain is less. Pain is pain. And my pain was that I needed others to validate me, just plain and simple. I needed people to see how bright I was. I needed people to see how intelligent I was. I needed people to see how driven I was. And I wore that as if it were a trophy. I wore that as if it made me who I was. And God has a way of snatching you back into reality when you get beside yourself. And that was my experience. I was snatched back. Hey, Auntie Deborah, I was snatched back into reality. And everything that I built on, it was shaken. It was shaken. Pain is pain, right? And I was at the point where this title and this position that I coveted and that I wanted so badly was taken away from me. And it was at that point that I began to ask God, God, who am I? Mind you, before this, I had no need to ask God anything because I had it going on. I was working. I was making my money. I felt good about myself, or so I thought, because I was really pretending to be this reflection of something that I saw, to be this reflection that of a picture that people painted, that this is what success is. You get all these degrees, you get all these labels, pins, and things, and then that makes you who you are. But when I got to this place, Auntie Deborah, I realized that I was still empty, Janelle. I was still void, Jocelyn. I was still void, Gemma. I was still very much unhappy. And mind you, I grew up in the church. I grew up, serving God. I grew up knowing God, or so I thought. But it was at this time when my world was going through the ultimate earthquake, that everything that I was building on was taken away. That then I begin to question God and I begin to ask Him, who am I? Outside of my title, outside of my qualifications, outside of everything that people think of me, outside of the picture that I painted with the Calvin Klein suits and the nice shoes and the handbags, because I love shoes and bags, right? So I had shoes and bags to match every outfit. I mean, you could not outdo me. Every month I would get my shoes and my bag to match and my suit. And to me, I just had it going, right? I had no need for God. We had it going. So now when everything, Janelle, was taken away, I was left to this point where I was like, Krisha, who are you outside of these things? And I could not answer the question. Perhaps you're someone that you're watching me today and you're saying, I feel like that. Or maybe you say, I have been at that place. And that place is actually a good place to be. I thought it was a bad place to be. I thought it was the worst thing that could happen to me. But the worst thing became the best thing, because that is when I found out who I really was. Because it was at this point I asked God, who did you create me to be? So when we find purpose, it is not about our ability, but it's about God's ability through us. I'm going to say that again. Your purpose is not about your ability, but it's about God's ability through you. So I often say purpose is found on the other side of surrender. And people say surrender is so hard. Krisha, how could you say that my purpose is on the other side of surrender? My purpose is on the other side of surrender because the more that I get in touch with God and my relationship with God is the more His ability within me becomes activated, because His ability is always in me. But I try to do it in my own ability, with my labels, my pins, and my things, right? I try to do it in myself. But I had to come to this point where I understood that it was not about my ability, but His ability through me. And His ability through me only becomes greater the more I surrender. So if I surrender half-heartedly, or if I surrender 0.25%, He is going to work 0.25% in my life. That is going to be the ability. But there's an ability and there's a potential inside me that is greater than I even know. Listen, if you had told me about 4 years ago that I would be coaching, that I would be speaking, that I would write books, that I would be helping people, I'd tell you no way. Listen, I was that girl who wanted to work with computers and never with people. But God has a sense of humor. And everything that we feel is wasted, everything that we feel was not part of our process, actually was part of our process. Who would have known God would have thrown me in the field of HR, which I never signed up for. I never even liked. I did not want to deal with people. I wanted to deal with computers. So that was the way that I was kind of charting my life, to go deal with computers and not with people. And then God just began to, through my surrender, stretch His ability in me, and I begin to love talking with people. I begin to love coaching people. And I asked Him, who have you created me to be? And He said, you will help others to push past pain and passionately pursue purpose. That's where the 6 P's come from. That's where my tagline comes from. Clearly, as I'm talking to you on this video right now, He said, you will help them to push past pain and passionately pursue purpose. I'm like, I don't even know what purpose is. How can I help someone to push past something that I don't even understand? But then I started to tap into that pain. You know why? Because it was at that point, He was grooming me, Brie. Absolutely. It was at that point that I started this dialogue with divinity, and I started to ask Him, who did you create me to be? Because I was trying to create myself by looking at another person and basically becoming a clone. So if I saw Susie did this, I did this. If Susie did that, I did it. If Susie did the other, I did it. And I was just building myself as a reflection of Susie. Not as a reflection, and that's a hypothetical person, right? Not as a reflection of the Creator. I'm looking at creation and building after Susie instead of looking at Creator and activating who was on the inside of me. And let me tell you guys, that was the place where my pain became so intense, because my labels, my pins, and my things could no longer get me out of the situation. That was the point where, hey Tracy, that was the point where I begin to tap into the potential on the inside of me, and that giant slayer that you now see is awakened. So I want to talk to you today, someone who is pursuing purpose, someone who has felt pain in their life, someone who is struggling, someone who doesn't understand why their life is the way that it is. I always say it's not happening to you, it's happening through you. And it's happening through you so that you can help someone else. Now, because of my story, and it's a story of a girl with low self-esteem, no confidence, needing people to validate me and to tell me that I was good and that I was brilliant, and I needed that. So I looked for something on the outside that could only be found on the inside. And perhaps you're looking for fulfillment right now. You're looking for the next way to get rich. You're looking for the next thing to tap into. You're looking for the next, opportunity. But the next opportunity is not on the outside. Actually, the next opportunity is on the inside. I'm getting so emotional as I talk about this because purpose is such a dear topic to my heart, because every time I see someone not living their purpose or frustrated as it relates to their purpose. And if you guys will do me a favor, I need all of you to share this out so that we can get this message out and that we can help people to live in their purpose. But every time I saw someone not living their potential, hey leader, every time I saw someone not living the fullness of who they were created to be, it will literally break my heart. And it would break my heart because I had to go through a process of being confused, of not knowing my identity, of looking to people to validate me, and God stripped me of it. Why? Because he said, I want you to get your validation only from me. Purpose is about attachment and fulfillment, right? Whatever you are attached to, that's what you fulfill. So purpose is about attaching yourself to God so that he can awaken his ability. Remember, I told you it's not your ability, but it's God's ability through you. But God's ability through you can only be activated to your level of surrender. So if you're still holding on, then there's not going to be any ability that's going to be activated because you still want control. I was in my situation, I could not control the circumstance, and God probably knows why, because he knows that I am very structured, I am very planned and organized. So if I could control it, I would. But he caused it to be a circumstance that was out of my control. And because it was out of my control, I could do absolutely nothing about it, Tracy. So it was about attachment and fulfillment, right? It was like I had to get close to him. And when I got close to him, then he could fulfill what was already on the inside of me. I'm looking to outside sources, and I'm talking to someone today who is looking for an outside source to help them get to that place of fulfillment, to help them get to that place of prosperity, to help them get to that place of the next level. Listen, you can either be living 4 types of lives. Let me explain this to you guys. You could either be living the pressed life. And the pressed life is that life where you feel squeezed. You know why? Because you're not living up to your potential. Your potential is this big, but you're living this small. And you feel pressed because you have outgrown the space in which you are right now. And that's what the pressed life is about. I love the Marvel character, the Hulk, right? The Hulk is one of my favorite characters, and this is why. Hulk had an ability, but the ability had to be activated. So Hulk was a normal human being until he got angry. When he got angry, he would begin to burst out of his clothes and he would begin to become another person, right? We're talking about attachment and fulfillment. You all know I love to teach you. This is about to be good. Invite your friends, tag someone, let them come in. So it is like you and I, we have this ability that's on the inside of us, but there's something that activates it and brings it out. And pain is that thing. If you know of the Hulk, when the Hulk gets angry, he always says, don't make me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry. And that is what pain does for us in terms of purpose. And of course, I dive into this a lot deeper in my module that I just released in Purpose University. But that pain now begins to unearth your potential. Listen, you don't know how strong you are until being strong is your only option. There are many of you sitting on your potential and you probably feel pressed. Why? Because you're living this small when your space is this big. And I am here to provoke you today to push past pain and passionately pursue purpose, because it's like the Hulk. Hulk began to expand because he had to get more capacity for what he was carrying. The normal human being could not carry the Hulk capacity. So he had to get bigger to get the strength. Listen. You have to get bigger. You have to get stronger for that potential on the inside of you to come out. I mean, I feel like I'm speaking to someone directly right now. It's time for you to get bigger. It's time for you to get stronger so that your true potential can come out. So that's the press life. Then there's the perplexed life. The perplexed life, is the life of confusion. I hope you guys are share this out with your followers, right? The perplexed life is the life of confusion. This is where you don't know what to do. You know that you should take a step. Everyone is telling you, make a step. You're listening to all these live videos and these trainings, and you're just confused. Like, what should my next step be? And that really is the perplexed life, because you have a million questions with no answers, right? So some of you may be living that perplexed life where you have so many questions, and I'm telling you, the questions of your life, the answer is on the inside of you. But you have to tap into that ability, just like the Hulk. You have to tap into that potential. You have to look at that pain through a different lens so that you can see what is really on the inside of you. Bree says, that's me. Then there is the purpose life, right? And the purpose life is when you know what your purpose is. I may be talking to some of you right now. You know what your purpose is. You know what you were created to do. There is this burning fire on the inside of you about who you are and what you were created to do, etc. And you may be living the purpose life, but guess what? Knowing your purpose is great, but knowing your purpose and not living it is just as not knowing your purpose at all. To know your purpose and to not live it, and not live it to the fullest, it's just as bad as not knowing it at all, right? The answer is on the inside. Absolutely, Jocelyn. So, when we get to the purpose life, we like to put purpose in a box, right? We put purpose in a box because we think purpose is about God. Purpose is only about God. It's only about the things that I have to do for God. But purpose is about every area of your life. Do you know that your purpose, your calling, it transcends just your ministry call? It goes into your personal life. It goes into your physical life. It goes into your well-being. It goes into your career. It goes into every thread, every area of your life. It goes into. So if you are not living the fullest of your purpose in every area of your life, then that means there is something else that you need to do. There's something else that you need to tap into. You may have just tipped the iceberg in terms of your potential, but there's so much more for you to do. There's so much more for you to achieve. And finally, the fourth type of life that I told you about is the prosperous life. Your place of purpose is your place of provision and your place of prosperity. So when we know our purpose, we like, yeah, this is good. I know why I was created. But to know why I was created and not prosper in it, come on. God desires that we be in health and prosper even as our soul prospers. So when my soul gets a knowing of who I am, when my soul understands who I am, then now that knowledge can take me to prosperity, because I understand my purpose. I understand that my purpose goes into every area of my life. And because my purpose goes into every area of my life, now I can get to that prosperous life that I was designed to have, that I was designed to live, that I was designed to be in. I am living my best life now. Yes, I'm happy that I have all of my degrees, my labels, my pins, and my things, right? And they were all a part of my process. But I'm even happier that I get to come on live right now, and I get to speak to you, and I get to spark something on the inside of you, because I was confused when I realized that my life's mission was to help people to push past pain and passionately pursue purpose. Yes, Bree, my soul needs to know who I am, because then when that knowing comes, then I can live that prosperous life. And I was like, how am I going to teach people of purpose when I don't even know what it is? And it was as if God literally taught me through the process of my life to activate purpose. And listen, it does not only stop with my ministry, my books. It goes into every area of my life. I could walk into the bank. I could walk into the gas station. I could walk anywhere and I see purpose. And I see what God is trying to do. And I see, when I see people not living the fullest potential, I need some of you to become like that Hulk. I need some of you to burst out of these small places that you have settled in and you felt like that was all you can do. Hi, Charlene. right? My soul must understand. Good. I see you guys taking notes. Hey, Lulu. I see you guys taking notes. I'm excited. My soul must understand who I am. And who I am comes from God. Purpose comes from Him. But the more I surrender, remember, attachment and fulfillment. So when I attach to Him, right, it makes the biggest difference, Auntie Deborah. It makes the biggest difference because I attach to Him. Tracy says, teach. I attach to Him, and then I can fulfill, only what I can do through Him. Do we have any questions? I love questions. They challenge me and they bring out the best in me. So if you have any questions, this is your moment. I hope you guys have shared this out because somebody needs to hear about purpose. And while I wait on your questions, I want to share with you the next project that I'm working on. You may have saw it on Facebook. You may have heard me talking about it, and it's Purpose University. I am so passionate, even as I'm passionate about coaching, about the next level that God has entrusted me with in terms of Purpose University. And if you have a question, I want you to type it, and I'm going to answer all the questions as soon as I see them come up. But Purpose University essentially is an equipping center to bring that potential out of you that's already on the inside of you. So if you know you've been playing small, and if you know that there's a next level for you and you are ready to get to that next level, listen, there are certain people that are equipped to bring certain things out of you. I don't try to walk the fitness lane. I leave that for Jocelyn. I don't try to sing, My Soul Will Sing. I leave that for Luann. I don't try to do what I'm not called to do. I only do what I'm called to do, which is to activate purpose. So I have been given the blessing, the privilege, the honor to host Purpose University just for you. Hey, Simone. And I am walking my lane. My lane is to activate you in your purpose and to get you to the next level. But there are people who are equipped to activate you in other areas. Listen, in 3 months, we're going to help you get your message out. We're going to pull it out of you through our process. We're going to help you not only get that message out, but we're going to help you package it in the form of a book, which is your story. And then we're going to help you not only know and live the purpose life, but get to the prosperous life. And this is why it is designed the way that it is. Any questions? I'm still waiting. Somebody must have a question, right? This is why the program is designed the way that it is, to help you get to that next level in purpose. So I know some of you may have been snooping around. You may have been looking. You're probably not sure, is this for me? Is this not for me? Listen. Exactly what I shared today and so much more will be poured into you, because each of the lecturers are on fire. They can activate in their particular area, be it money, be it leadership, be it success, be it purpose, be it writing a book, be it developing your business. They have the same passion. They have the same fire on the inside of them to activate you to push past pain and passionately pursue purpose. Bree asked, how long did it take you to discover it after surrendering fully? Well, Bree, purpose evolves. So I never say that you fully discover. You discover in seasons. So as your seasons change, you grow in your purpose. Like when I first started, all I did was I did speaking. I wrote the book. I was a coach, etc. Now that has evolved into Purpose University. So when I asked God what my purpose was, He told me to help to others push past pain and passionately pursue purpose, but I did not understand what that was. I don't think that I'm living the fullness of it yet, but I'm living it to the degree of which I understand. I'm living it to the degree of the revelation that He has given me and to the degree of my attachment and fulfillment. So I will never say that you fully understand the big picture. You understand in part, and the part that you understand, you're responsible for living it out. So whatever is the part that you understand now, you live that out, and as you live that part out, another part unfolds. But another part cannot unfold unless you live out the current part. So if you are small and your space is this big and you feel pressed, you're not living out the current part, because you are supposed to actually outgrow that current part of purpose that you understand. So if the part, Bree, that you understand right now is that I need to be a good wife, a good mother, I need to nurture my children, you do that to the best, but always wait for the next part to unfold, because as the next part unfolds, then you will be equipped for what that looks like in a greater magnitude. Does that answer your question? Let me know if that answers your question. Nicole says, that was your question. This is for me. Good. How long is Purpose University modules? It is 3 months, 90 days, and it's designed as 90 days because we want you to have lasting change. You could do something for a month and go back to your old habits, because old habits die hard. The reason why it's 90 days, because it's meant to break something on the inside of you. It's meant to break a cycle. It's meant to break you going back to your old habits. So people say that this takes 21 days to break a habit. Yes, it does, but it actually takes 90 days to reprogram your mind for a new habit. So the program is designed for 90 days, so that at the end of this is not those programs that you sign up for and they stay in your inbox and you don't complete them. We have accountability just because we want you. Every week you get a video, and every week we will be seeing if you watch it, and we will be checking up on you. And you don't get your next video until you watch video 1. So this is not a program designed. I never do anything to equip people to fail. I want to equip you to succeed. So I'm not just going to send it to your inbox and you just pile them up and you never look at them. The modules are designed to come weekly for 90 days to ensure that you are looking at them, you are engaging with the lecturers, and guess what? My admin team is going to be on your back. We're going to be saying, Jocelyn, video 1 was released on Monday. You watch 5%. Hey, come on, it's time to go. Look at your video. Week 2, we're going to be saying, Jocelyn, week 2 video is out. You need to look at your video. We're going to jump in and keep you accountable. So I guarantee that once you put in the effort after 90 days, you're supposed to have a rewiring. You're supposed to have the kind of results that we anticipate you having from the mentors. Let me see what other question we have. Purpose evolves. I love it. Yes, definitely living that now. Good. Love it, Simone. So as you went, he continued to unveil and develop you. That's it, Bree. Absolutely. As I obeyed in step and as I obeyed in part, it began to unfold as I obeyed. So the first part that he gave me was just to push past pain and passionately pursue purpose. And I just obeyed in that instant because I didn't understand what that was. You have to think that this is God telling a girl who does not know what her purpose is, that your purpose is to help people with purpose. How do you help people with purpose when you don't know what purpose is? Like, God, are you crazy? Right? That was like our dialogue at that point. How can I help you push past pain when I can't even push past my pain? But I was forced. It was like an incubation process to develop me because I had to push past my pain, my self-esteem issues, my confidence issues. Listen, people laughed at me. Listen, I was the one walking in with the nice suits and thought I had it going on, and now I was the laughing stock. Why? Because pride had to get knocked out of me. And the only way for it to get knocked out of me is for my labels, pins, and things to be shaken so that I can understand, hey, it's not about you. It's about my ability through you. God gave me the ability to do all these things, to accomplish this degree, to go away to study, to be the first one in my family, and that's my entire family, extended family, to get a degree. He allowed me to do it. How dare I think that it was all about me? How dare I think that I was in control of my destiny? No, no, no. Labels, pins, and things? No, no, no. We need to know what our purpose is so that we can live a fulfilled life. And God absolutely will use your labels, pins, and things. I'm not saying that your qualifications and your experience are bad. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is make sure you understand your purpose and you fulfill it even in everything that you do. How did you get clarity or confirmation on your purpose? There was just a knowing on the inside of me, Charlene. That's the best way I could say it, right? There was a knowing on the inside of me because when God said it, I wrote it. I still did not believe it, but I trusted. And as I trusted, he began to connect me with people. He began to connect the puzzle. He began to draw it out of me almost, because now my soul had new information. Remember, I told you guys earlier that your soul needs to know who you are. So essentially, your soul records the past, right? You're making me go into another teaching here, but I hope you guys are enjoying this and you're sharing it out. Give me some thumbs up if this is good, so I will continue going. Your soul is the place that stores your mind, your will, and emotion. Your soul essentially has outdated information. So your soul makes decisions based on past experience. Let's say I hit you on your hand, right? Your soul stores that information. So the next time that you see me, the memory of me hitting you on your hand is going to resurface. Why? Because your soul stored that information. So your soul is storing all this information about your past, but it does not know your future. This is why I say your soul needs to know who you are, because your soul is basing things on past information. Your soul is basing your existence on your life from childhood to now, and that could never be your future. That's your past. So when your soul gets an introduction to who you are, this new you, this you that God created you to be, then you're giving your soul new information, and you're now rewiring yourself, because essentially the old information stands. So if you go to do an exam, let's say you failed an exam before, and you go to do an exam, your soul is going to trigger this emotion that tells you you're going to fail. You're going to fail. You're going to fail. Because your soul has that old information. The last time you wrote this test, this is what happened. The last time you did exams, you can't remember. You have bad memory. You can't do this, because your soul has that old information. And it's correct. It's correct information. Because you may have failed in the past. But now you have to introduce it to new information. And the new information is, okay, yes, I may have failed in the past. But this is a new day. This is a new time. This is a new season. This is a new exam. This is a new opportunity. So you now have to introduce your soul to that new information, to rewire that old information. I mean, we're getting into a whole other teaching, but simply put, you have to live out as you know. So as you know, you begin to add that new information and rewire and undo the old information. Let me see if we have any other questions. Knowing and understanding purpose is really starting to live out your best life. Yes, I agree. Glad I tuned in for this. I'm tired of wrestling with the purpose struggle. Good. I'm glad that you tuned in too. And if you guys are not already plugged in, not in my group, not connected, you can join the group Purpose Diaries. If you are there, take full advantage of everything that we do in there. And if perhaps Purpose University might just be for you, don't be scrolling through the ads on Facebook and not jumping in. It just might be your next step, right? So let's take a look at Purpose University. I have it up on my screen, so you can check out the website. You don't have to pay to check out the website. You can just go to the website and you'd see everything, right? So I want you to go to the website and I want you to look at the courses, look at the packages, and see which one looks like something that can help you. We have from Understanding Purpose 101. That's a class with me where we talk about what your purpose is, where we talk about understanding why you were created, etc. And when you click on any of the bundles, listen, you don't have to pay to look at the bundles and to read what they are about. I want you to go on, I want you to click, I want you to read through. And if it resonates with you, then I want you to come back and say, Krisha, I think this is something that I need, and let's work it out. Let's see how you can get into it. So you can go on, you can look at all of the modules, and you can see if it is right for you. So I want you guys to go to the website, check it out. Don't just scroll past on Facebook and not look at it because you feel it is something that's not for you. Give it a chance, go through. I'll put the link in the comments, and if you feel like this is the time for you to really understand what your purpose is, I encourage you to go on, because our mission is to help you to push past pain, and to passionately pursue purpose. Do we have any more questions? If we have any more questions, I want to answer them, and then I'm gonna let you guys go, right? So I thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm glad some of you said that this was good to you, that this helped you, Bree. I'm glad that you joined me and you got a little bit of clarity. Purpose is my passion, yo. Because God has just equipped me with this desire to help people in purpose, and I walk my lane just to help you to push past pain and passionately pursue purpose. If you have any other questions, put them under the video. Check out Purpose University. See what is right for you. Check out my coaching. Maybe you say, Krisha, I need to get a one-on-one with you. If you need to do that, let's do it. And let's help you to understand and to live your best life, your prosperous life, through knowing your purpose. Have a great Thursday evening. This has been Style Your Life with Krisha, and I hope you know that you need to style your life with purpose. Have a great evening, guys. Bye-bye.